Okay, so welcome back to the third episode of the series. Now, with this start, I'm just going to quickly show you some of the stuff I'm going to sell and the reasons why, and then we'll get into the next raid. So these are the items that I would currently say that aren't required really for me to progress, and I'm going to sell those ones. So the way I sell them is, therapist is always the first person I sell to. So these ones will go to her first. This goes by who gives the most amount of money first. Therapist will get these ones. Skier is the next to go. Now, usually I would sell these items to Skier, but for the first Ragman quest, you need to have Ragman level 2. So we're going to sell them to Ragman instead. You get slightly less money, but it's okay. The next one, Mechanic. Now, this really comes down to a personal preference. Now, you do get Mechanic, the best money from Mechanic, but you do need to also level up Prapper. Now, Prapper, it's probably about 7 or 8 quests in before you need to worry about it. But what you can do is anytime you loot grenades, you can sell them to him. Now, I have 200,000 rubles and I'm going to need these rubles. So, because the upcoming quests are going to require it, really. So, at the moment, Prapper has 2 shotguns that we need to hand in. Therapist, we need to hand in 5 Salewers. And then we've got Skier, whose first quest is to hand over 4 3M armors and then also 4 Toz shotguns. Now we can buy the 4 Toz shotguns directly from Skier and hand them straight in. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. But we also need to buy those 3M armors. Now, unless it's changed, the 3M module armors should be about 30k a pop. You can buy all these off the flea market. And this is what I would recommend doing. Now, it's going to cost me 160,000 rubles to buy 4. And this is why the money can be quite stretched. And we don't have room to place those items. So we'll quickly hand these in. And then we'll go get the last one. And then we've got the Scare quest done. Now, I did this one first because he gives 60,000 rubles for handing it in. And hopefully, there'll be enough money to get us into the next quest. There's our 60k rubles. And then we go into, we need to do Therapist, which has, we're going to get 5 Salewers. And then we also need to get the 2 133 shotguns. So this one gives 5,000 rubles and a little bit of crappy items. So we're going to go MR-133. I'll just go 133. See if that comes up. It's an MP 133. We need 2 of these. Now, as long as they're whole, they sell. But, for example, you can take out the round, that, and I think you won't be able to take off that now. It has to still be an actual weapon. So any of these items you want to take off, you can, and you can sell them separately. You can even unload the ammunition. You can still hand those in. Right, so now we can sell those items and hand them in. There's 2 more quests done. We've got the Bronze Pocket Watch, which is everyone's favorite quest. And we can sell these items to Prapper, make it that little bit extra money. It's not a lot of extra money, but it all does help. And then the issue we're going to run into right here is the fact we finished the quest. We get the PM pistol? Maybe I need to relog. Anyway, we still need to get the Salewers. Now, I really want to get these done beforehand because you're going to need them for... There's follow-on quest. Now, we need 5 of these. So, currently, we need about 50,000 rubles. So, we're going to have to go into our stash, quickly find some items to sell. It's a bit sketch what you want to do because, you know, you're going to need these items for quests later on. Personally, what I might do is I might actually just sell this AK to Mechanic. The only thing I'm going to do first is... no, it's got PS ammo. Let's sell it. Gone. Bam, and the grease is gone. So we'll buy these Salewers now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quest complete there. And now we have the gas analyzers and Operation Aquarius. Now this requires the 2-story dorms 206 key that we spoke about earlier. And this key is super cheap on the flea market now. I know we're very poor at the moment. I'm going to quickly sell these these PM pistols because we're not going to use them at all. But we should easily be able to afford a 206 key. Dorm's 206 key is selling for 1,699 rubles. Alright, and so that is now a quest that we're going to do on the map. I'm going to hold on to the Pilgrim Backpack for now. I don't think Customs is a really good spot to be looting mass amounts of items. So the Pilgrim Backpack can be saved for later. And I do want to repair this armor just. Cool. And then let's get into a raid. Alright, so now that we're in a raid, we have pretty much the furthest spawn from the extract, which is fine. But it just means we have to fight through the entire big red warehouse. This is the big red I was talking about in the first episode, where people will hang about because of all the loot and that. Now, there's a couple of filing cabinets around this side, and there's some med bags. We're going to go straight for the med bags, because meds are always important. You can never have enough meds, really. Never have enough meds. Now, there is a spawn over that side, and I actually jump on the roofs of these all the time. Scavs do spawn in here pretty quickly as well, so we want to watch out for that stuff too. And pineapple juice. Liquors. I think they're 40. I think of energy as well. I can complain about that. Now, unfortunately, I forgot to buy a machinery key before this raid. I need to get a machinery key as well. Once you... Okay, I have my visor down then, and I just got one shot by a scav. How? I had an AVS rig on and a visor on. I was a player. Okay. Fair enough. You must have had really good ammo. I didn't understand how that worked. Okay, so I did some investigation on the actual death end. He was actually another streamer, and he had AP20 ammo. So it one shot through my AVS rig like butter. Like butter. So AP-20 on a shotgun, one tap me. That's pretty rough. So it happens to us all. But I'll quickly chuck on another loadout. We'll get back into another raid, and we'll continue on getting this quest done, and I'll pick up a machinery before we get in. So I'm going to use this time whilst I've got that going nice and quickly, so you can see actually how I chuck on my next loadout. Firstly, thanks for all the really positive reaction to the actual series itself. If you guys do have feedback, like I know you guys want to see at the end of raid, all the stuff that's going on. I'm going to try and include that in later things. I've already recorded my first 10 episodes, so some of them will have stuff like that in it, and some won't, I thought, depending on if it was relevant. But yeah, some of the feedback's amazing, and thank you so much for all the support. And hopefully you guys can learn some stuff from this, because I'm going to try and keep this going as long as I can. And I think the end objective is going to be every quest in the game. So anyway, let's crack into a raid. Okay, so for this raid, I'm actually going to go a nighttime raid. I had to sell a large portion of my gear and items that I had just then, just to be able to get us into a full loadout for the next raid. That was rough. I actually am very surprised that an AP-20 just dropped me with the AVS. Tier 4, it's like a armor class 4 armor. And full health just dropped me. Bam. One shot. So that shotgun ammo is really brutal right now. I actually did a video on it recently. So something to obviously take note of. And hopefully we don't run into too many people doing the one taps. It was a very clean chest shot that he did. So good on him. And yeah, we move on. So with this raid, I've got the machinery key. I've got the Dorms 206 key. Our objective is to get the quest done and then get out. There's not too much anything else we want to do. Survive the raid. Hopefully it's not too brutal. And on top of that, we're going to have to go do some loot runs. Now that we're that poor, we need to find some items that have high value, which can be quite difficult. So we're into the raid. We actually got a very similar spawn, if I'm not mistaken. As you know, this is the back corner. Let me just check. It's very similar to the first raid spawn. So we're going to go straight over to that 2-story dorms. We actually have 7.62 by 39 in the AK-103, and I've got a flashlight here if I want to actually point out something to you. Hopefully you guys can see it not too dark. Obviously it is nighttime raid, but we need to do this nighttime raid. We are sitting in a tough spot. We only spawned about 20 seconds late. The good thing about nighttime raids is generally most people are just trying to get quests done and they're not trying to get in a lot of fights. And we're going to avoid combat pretty brutally right here. This is the MRS site. This is what the site I was talking about previously. That one of my favorite sites. One of those things. Sometimes you don't survive a raid, and sometimes you do. But we've now been put into a little difficult spot. Now, that could easily happen for you guys if you're starting out, lose a couple of raids and you get very poor. That's when you start looking at, hey, how do I make some money? Start using your scav runs, start doing like pistol backpack runs. Right now, we're going to go check, like I said, about that flash drive. We're going to go check for the flash drive right here between the duffel bag. We'll quickly search that duffel bag while that fight's going on back there. And then we're going to get into two-story dorms nice and quick. Get to the 206, get the quest done. Then if we die afterwards, all we have to do is extract. There's no requirement to actually go back to the room. That's one perk about that quest. As well as we'll quickly check that filing cabinet. We'll try and get ourselves a customs key. Level up our search skill. Never know, we might even run into another scav boss here. Duffel bags are the ones you want to loot every time if you can. Also, these weapon crates can also spawn Salewers as well. So, meds are always handy. If you ever see an item, you can quickly press your mouse wheel down on it to quick examine. Always good to go. I try and search everything I can early. See, like that suppressor there. I think that sells like 20 or 30k. We've got some backup ammo there. Can't complain about that. Pretty sure this one sells for about 20 or 30k. So that's like a nice little find for us. That ammo's trash. Don't waste our time on that. I'm going to move nice and quick now. This is the 206 room that we're talking about. Get in here. We'll hear the quest complete noise, and then we're out of there. Over to this one. But this is where they're... I can't go past the filing cabinet without wanting to search it. Early on, at least. They can be gold mines. You can find rollers. You can find, keys, like customs key. They help level your search skill. Gold chain. Look at that gold chain there. That's money right there. You do need T-plugs for a quest. It's part of the mechanic storyline. It's not a very early on quest, but if you do want to pick them up, it can be quite handy. But I generally find them pretty quickly. Just shut this drawer to be able to search it. Another rec bat. Alright. I'm not going to loot this other filing cabinet because I want to get moving nice and quick. Because what generally happens is people, particularly at night time, they're trying to get their quest done, so they're coming to dorms. Right, so we're off to construction now, which is one of the scariest places in the map, really. Here's a Wilston cigarette. They're actually really hard to find later on. You know what? I'm actually going to just do this because we don't need the key anymore. I'm going to chuck the key. The Wilson cigarettes. Now, when you get to the cigarette quest, it's a little bit down. It's called Bad Habit by Mechanic. When you get to that quest, you don't have to... There's no follow-on quest to it. So, whilst it's quite a difficult quest to complete because you've got to find 7 of each of the cigarette packets in raid, there's no follow-on quest. So, don't feel like you have to farm it straight away. It's something you can do over time. That 3-story dorm's top door's open, so there's someone in 3-story dorms right now. So this is where I was talking about, like, we don't want to stick around too long. We want to get in, get our shit done, get out. We've already taken a bit of a beating in the previous raid, and we want to try and make the most of this raid right now. So this is probably one of the hardest quests in the game early on, mostly because of all the other people hanging around construction. Right, Sniper Scav's dead, and we want to keep moving. Now, that was a tracer round, so people know where I was when I shot it. Good thing is, if we know he's up, then it's unlikely someone's already in construction. Now, that's only really good for about 5 or 10 seconds. Someone could be walking into it right now. Right, so we're just going to be nice and quick. Open the door, get the bronze pocket watch, and then we're getting the fuck out of this way. Alright, now, elbow is a very, very sketchy way to go. I very rarely go through elbow. I call that elbow. Alright. I'd rather go this way. The problem with elbow is people Once you get stuck in there, you can get trapped in there. If you go against a duo, you can get trapped in there very quickly. Now, we could go quite slow here. We could stop for a second, have a listen, get our stamina up. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go left here, and we're going to get a key for a future quest called the Unknown Key. You can buy it off the flea market cheap, but if you can save some money, you save some money, you know. All right, see that light? That means the extract's open. So we're going to be using that extract. Get our quest done. 2 quests done. Everything goes smooth right here. The body's right here. Where you get the Unknown Key from. A bit of exploration bonus XP. So there's the Unknown Key. Another fuel conditioner. People are going to hate me. People watching this. If we die, we could buy 50 of those machinery keys for that fuel conditioner. Alright, now we're extracting. Even though you make a little bit of noise, I still rather move. And that's the end of that raid. Like I said, it was a quick in and out raid. Get the items that we needed. Get the quest done and get the feck out of there. Because obviously, we just lost a really good loadout on the raid before. And we want to get those quests done and so we can move on to a different map to start making some money. There we are. We hit level 7. We'll hand in those 2 quests and then we'll finish up the episode here. So, guys, if you do get into a situation where you will go in with your best gear like I did, you die. Not always the best option to go best gear again. Do a couple of money runs. If you find a way that you can make some money, get through the raids, make some money that way, and then you can re-gear. Don't always have to go best loadout, but I'm trying to give you guys the best experience I can with this. I'll hand in this quest here. Now this goes into 2 quests, Shootout Picnic and Deliver in the Past. This one's on customs. This one's on woods, doing scavs on woods. And then we've got the therapist, the 206. So what we're going to do as well is we need to go get these gas analyzers as well. So that's an interchange quest really. And then we've got kill scavs on customs, which we can do anytime. It does lead on to more quests, and then we need to get it done. But at the moment, let's get some money in the bank. Let's get the gas analyzer. Let's get some money back so we can actually do stuff. We need to buy some keys, all that good stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for future content. I do stream on Twitch every day of the week, so go down, link below, give me a follow there. If you have any Tarkov questions, feel free to hit me up on my live stream. Any questions regarding this episode, chuck them down in the comments below. And lastly, I'll see you next time. 1. What comes after 1? 2. What comes after 2? 3. What comes after 3? 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4.